Welcome to episode 12 of Northwynd, the Druid True First Life series. In this episode, I'm going to be doing Elite Maraud the Mines. And you're like, wait a minute, you're not there. What are you doing? I know. Here's the thing. I thought I'd do a round of, the undead chests. I'm off ransack now. A week ago I had the just amazing jackpot of the Bloodstone, Ring of Spell Storing, 2 dust cards, and so I'm off ransack, so I'm gonna re-ransack that again. I thought I'd hit the Firestorm Greaves chest while I was here, so if you're a little bit newer and you want to farm these chests to try to make some plat, another really good chest to hit out here is the Commander Erolf chest. And there are 2 different rares that can appear here. One of them is Lieutenant Iru or something like that. And then the other one's Commander Erolf. Commander Erolf can drop Firestorm Greaves, which have fire absorption 33%. Now, those traditionally are highly sought after item, but with new random loot and crafting, they're not nearly as valuable, but you could probably still sell them for maybe 100,000 plat or something. Maybe even a little bit more. So I wanted to mention that. Let's take a look at where things are. On the spells, got level 7 spells now, and I've got 2 huge spells. First one is Elemental Toughness. Now, this is a buff that you can cast on yourself when in either elemental form. You see I'm in Fire Elemental form now. Just got that at 13. And it gives you DR5, period, across the board. It's a great source of DR if you don't have it on gear, so just love it. DR5 at this level is huge. And then the next thing I got is one of the funnest spells in the game. I love this spell. It's called Body of the Sun. And that's this thing here. And it's not only an awesome spell, but it looks gorgeous too. And this is a buff that you can cast on yourself in Fire Elemental form. And it has a damaging aura. It does fire damage. And it moves with you. And it's a buff, so it can be extended. So it lasts a minute if it's extended. And this is why I keep extend at this point, because I'm not extending my buffs anymore. My other regular buffs, but this, I love it, and I'll keep extend until 20, and at about level 20, I'll switch to Water Elemental form as my primary form, and I won't be using the Body of the Sun anymore and get rid of extend. Swap it out for, I think, Evocation Focus. This spell is just amazing. It basically turns you into a walking firewall. I mean, all you have to do is get close to mobs, and as long as they're not immune to fire damage, they're just going to melt away. And so this is my big AoE right now. Barely using Firewall or Ice Storm. It's worth mentioning that I do have Maximize and Empower and everything on for these. Earlier I said, I turned off Empower, for Ice Storm and Firewall because, I was trying to conserve mana. Well, I'm not really using them much anyways, but on the rare case that I am, I want them to hit big. But most of the time they're just not needed with Body of the Sun. Another really cool thing about Body of the Sun is that it's a buff, so it doesn't maximize and empower. The only meta magic you can apply to it are Quicken and Extend. But it scales differently than Firewall, so it scales sort of better on its own. You don't need to maximize and empower it. It holds up against Firewall really well. And so it's cheaper to cast. It's only 50 spell points to cast. That's extended and quickened, whereas Firewall is 69 spell points to cast. So Body of the Sun is superior to Firewall in virtually every way. The only way I think that it's not is that it can be dispelled. If you have casters dispelling you, that can make it go away. But it can't be blown out. This is another thing that's really nice. Like, I'll even use it in epics occasionally, like maybe I'm fighting a group of Mephits, for example, and they blow out your firewalls and your AoEs. They can't blow out Body of the Sun. Totally freaking awesome. It's so much fun. If you've never used it, I mean, this is a big power level for Druid, because you get that Fire Elemental form, because you get Body of the Sun. Just huge. DR5, giant. Love it. There's another spell I want to mention. I don't have it memorized right now, but it's really nice situationally. And I actually, by end game, I will have this permanent. But Pack Aptitude gives you actually all of your pack, but in this case my wolf, a competence bonus to a ability score of your choice, or circumstance bonus, excuse me. So that's going to stack with most other things, and it can be really nice. Like if your wolf needs a little more, strength to get a lever, or a little more intelligence to get a rune, or whatever it is, you can hit him with that, and that can make a big difference in those situations. Let's take a look at the enhancements. So I'm all the way up to tier 3 of Word of Balance, and I went up to tier 2 of Efficient Meta Magic Maximize, and that's as opposed to the other tier 5 stuff. Strength of Solstice plus one of my DCs. I don't really feel like I'm having a problem with DCs right now, so I'd rather have the mana savings. I'm so mana starved as the first lifer, and Crown of Summer is really cool, but again, the mana savings right now is where it's at. But I do want to remind you, as I mentioned earlier in the series, that when you upgrade an enhancement, you need to redrag it. Like if it was tier 2 before, and then you upgrade it to tier 3, you need to redrag it from your enhancement sheet into your hotbar. Otherwise, it's still going to be treating what's in your hotbar as the tier 2 version, for example. So it's a good reminder if you're newer, even if you're experienced players. I run into experienced players that don't realize that, and they're like, why? It's just not hitting like it should be. That is why. Nothing else to mention here. So level 12, this is level 13. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and use the wolf. Hopefully you can stay out of trouble. Picked up wolf evasion. You need cunning 3 and wolf instincts 3 to get that. Still got the same armor. And got a new collar. I don't know if I showed this last time. I might have had this out for our last video. 3d6 electrical damage, 66 critical piercing. Yeah, that's not bad. I'll take it. Let's take a look at the gear. Pulled another dust cart while I was out here. And that's not a highly valuable item, but I might be able to sell that for 50, 75,000 plat, and I need the money. I'm down to 1.8 million because I've spent like over 500,000 plat on gear getting ready for later levels. Like I have like 50 items, 60 items in my bank right now, just of stuff that I might use, just stuff that I'm finding deals on. If I don't use it, I'll just post it back in the auction house again, or just crunch it to essences. I also want to show you something else. I got super lucky here. I found this for a steal on the auction house. This is a double slotted craftable. These don't drop anymore. They haven't dropped for like 2 years. This is priceless. This is worth so much for like a veteran player that's a crafter. This is just, it's just giant. And what I'm going to do, this is going to be my ticket to getting 100 Shadow Dragon Scales. I'm going to trade this for 100 Shadow Dragon Scales. You might be thinking, that's crazy. Like I said, to a veteran crafter, Shadow Dragon Scales can be farmed. This, irreplaceable. In fact, this is probably worth 1,000 Shadow Dragon Scales. In fact, if I had this belt on my home server of Sarlona, and somebody said, hey, I'll give you 1,000 Shadow Dragon Scales, I wouldn't do it. All I'm going to ask for is 100 Shadow Dragon Scales. And like I said, to a veteran crafter, I would do that in a heartbeat. I'd make that trade 10 times over on Sarlona. I'd give 1,000 Shadow Dragon Scales for 10 of these. Hell yeah. Like I said, irreplaceable. So I'm hoping to cash in on that very soon. I didn't get any takers tonight, but it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. Nobody on. Come back during prime time. I should get a hit. Alright, the gear is almost completely the same. There are 2 new pieces. I'll just go over the old stuff briefly. Wisdom 6 on the goggles. The armor is new. Got Constitution 6. Got my heavy blue dragon plate lined up for 14. You can see I'm already pegged to 14. Can't wait to get that on. It's gorgeous. Braces of Wind's the same. This cool ring is the same. Random gen stuff. Feather Falling Boots of Speed's the same. Mobe's Fist is the same. The Wizardry and Glaciation Ring's the same. Fortification on the belt. So here's the thing. I'm going to replace the belt with something better as soon as I find it. I don't need a fort item right now. I'd like a fort item, but because I don't have like raid loot and, you know, twink gear, you know, I've got to make some sacrifices, okay? And the reason why I don't need a fort item is, look at my fortification right now, 175. So even without that belt, I still have 100% fort. That's all you need in heroics, and you get that 100% from the racial bonus from being in elemental form. I'll just drop out of elemental form real quick to show you. See, I have no fortification right now. Back into fire elemental form, boom. As a caster, this is important. You should be in elemental form 100% of the time. Literally, the only time I'm not in elemental form, like on Ginger Spice, is sometimes I'll switch to Winter Wolf if I just want to, like, you know, if I'm running from point A to point B and I want to get there really quick, or I'm jumping over a chasm, but then I'll switch right back. I also like to tank the Shadow Dragon in Temple of Deathworm during just the final beatdown while in Winter Wolf form, because the Shadow Dragon buffets you back off that center mound, and I can use the snow slide to get right back there immediately. That's the only time I'm not in elemental form. Elemental form is so freaking awesome. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So anyways, I'm going to put something, you know, sort of more useful in the belt. I'm going to want over 100% fortification once I get in epics, but 100% is going to be fine for now. Cloak of Flames, level 11 version still. Dust Cart's the same. This is a new piece of loot too. Was a nice find. I was really pleased with this find. Evocation Focus 3, Sheltering 16, yellow slot. I gotta find an augment to put in there. That's a really nice necklace. This is probably gonna stick with me till, you know, right through 20. But, you know, maybe I'll find something better. This is way better than, you know, this is the product of the new loot system, the new random generated loot system that just came out, you know, a few months ago. This smokes anything random gen that was available prior to that. And this is sort of one of the things that, you know, I talked earlier in the series about how even on a first lifer you can get DCs to be effective in epics. I mean, and part of the reason is because, you know, there's more stuff now that's going to get you higher DCs. It's more easily available. Still got the resistance 6 on the headgear, helmet. This is the same devotion shield, and still got the keen silver vorpal scimitar. I like it. You know, I can insta kill mobs. Another option would be go with like a caster stick, but I've got my spell powers covered. I want to get a Pansophic Circlet. I've already actually run Memoirs of Illusory Larcener on Elite. That's level 15 on Elite, and it was challenging. You know, you get a lot of champion archers in there smoking me up, but I did it, and I had to do it like that last part when you're running through the forest and you do the end fight. I had to do that all on SLAs. It was ridiculous. I was jumping around like a jackass in there, but I got it done. Didn't pull my circlet. I got the bracers. I'm gonna keep doing it though until I get it, and I'm gonna keep hitting that every day. All right, that's loot. Went over the enhancements already. Covered spells. Covered the wolf. Is there anything else? Ooh, I just noticed my wand ran out. I had found a wand of cure critical wounds, so I had that slotted up there. I don't think there's anything else that I need to go over. I found another Scarab of Spell Absorption really cheap on the auction house. I mean, just like 500 plat or something just ridiculous. So I had two, but I used one up today, and when I was doing Dreams of Insanity, all those beholders, you know. So Maraud the Mines is right over here, and I want, you know, I'm choosing this one because I've never done a video for this quest before, and one of my long-term goals is to have a video for every quest in the game. I'm still light years away from that, but it's good to have goals, right? Actually, I'm not a goal-oriented person in real life. That aside, you know, also wanted to do something simpler, you know. I mean, that last video, that was stressful. I was stressed out. I was on the edge of my seat. Crazy. So Sands walkups. Well, these Sands walkups don't get a lot of love. You know, they don't get a lot of attention, but I like to run them. You know, most of the walkups are pretty quick. There's one other thing I wanted to mention. I wanted to show you that the Seal of the Heavens and the Seal of the Soul, just in case you're a little bit newer, maybe you didn't know, you know, these drop in a little bag in front of the boss. You know, after you kill the boss, drops at his feet in the chamber of Rama and the chamber of Karush. The two walk-ups out there, like on both sides of the Wizard King. And you can use these to bypass the two of the guardians in Wiz King, Chamber of Rayum. Okay, when you walk up to the, you know, there's like the Ifrit, and then there's the two Jinns. You walk up to them. If you have these in your inventory, you have the option of showing them the seal, and it just makes them go away, and you get experience for it too. And then the seal for the Ifrit is actually in Wiz King. It's down in the basement. There's a chest down there somewhere. It's a seal of fire. But I wanted to show you that, you know, and these, you know, that you get out of heroic, you can even use these in epic. So you're doing like epic elite Wiz King, you know, it can be nice to have. Gens can be a pain in the ass. Let you bypass them. Like I said, you still get XP. I'm not going to put a lot of buffs on the wolf, but greater heroism doesn't cost me any mana, and throw a Spring's Resurgence on him, and that's going to be good enough. Well, you know what? I'm going to give him a fire resistance too. I'm going to go ahead and cast it. I'm going to give myself a fire resistance. Oh, I got to talk about fire elemental form. Son of a... Okay. Let's do that. While my buffs are ticking down. So, fire elemental form. +3 caster level and max caster level for fire spells. But your water have -3 penalty to caster level, max caster level. So cold spells like Creeping Cold and Greater Creeping Cold, Ice Storm. You also gain +10 racial bonus to fire resistance and -10 penalty to cold resistance. And you gain access to certain spells like Body of the Sun. You get 10 racial bonus to saving throws against magical poison, racial immunity to natural poisons, sleep, paralysis, stun. You can't be turned to stone. Like if you're fighting Jack Jibbers, he can't stone you when you're in elemental form, for example. And 100% racial bonus to fortification. Elemental form, totally awesome. You gotta do it. I know there's some casters out there that don't. You know, they're worried about, oh, I'm gonna get a penalty in my other spells. Who cares? It's totally awesome. Here's the thing though. Don't shy away from casting cold spells while in fire elemental form. They're still going to be really powerful. I mean, Greater Creeping Cold is still good. I mean, you're going to... Anything. In fact, I'm just getting to the point where regular Creeping Cold can't kill a mob in one casting. So it's like champions, though, for example. Maybe orange names. You know, taking them down most of the way. But it's champion. Come on now. One shot. But this is a regular Creeping Cold. I'm in fire elemental form. Ah, wolf's good. Never mind. Let's do him. We'll do this caster up here. Creeping Cold. See what happens. Is gonna kill him one casting? Maybe not. Nope. Wow, only got him about halfway. That's okay, call lightning, take care of him. There's Word of Balance. It's going to one-shot most mobs it's going to hit, but you know, if you're fighting a neutral mob, it's not going to do anything. I talked about that last time. It does damage based on how many steps away it is from neutralities. If you're fighting like an animal, for example, you know, there's hyenas in here, I think. I think there's, you know, some earth elementals. You're not going to, that's not going to even do any damage to them. So this quest, simple quest, relatively small dungeon. You're just picking up a bunch of gems. And that's the only objective. I don't even think you have to kill the boss technically. Just pick up the gems, and then you're done. See, they drop from these storage bins. Casters first. Oh, I'm also using heal scrolls now as my primary form of healing. 85% chance. You know, it's not perfect, but you know, it's close enough, and you know, they heal for a lot more than cure serious wounds. And then if I need an emergency heal, you know, of course I still got the actual cure serious wounds spell, and that hits pretty hard. 41 spell points. I don't think I have that max empowered. I just maximize quicken, of course. Good. You want to have your heal spells quicken. You don't want to lose them. You know, some people aren't real keen on quicken. Like, that's an essential. That's essential for a caster. You gotta have it. Like, I don't want to hear this like, oh, but I don't have enough spell points. Yeah, you can't afford. If you don't have enough spell points, then you can't afford to lose your spells because you're getting hit. Turn quicken on for everything except for your buffs. Turn them off for your buffs. It's good to mention, too, that, for example, my meta magics here, you see I don't have extend spell on anymore. But even though I don't have it on, there, I can still manually toggle it for a specific spell. So you can see I have extend always on here by right-clicking there. I'm really happy that, like, you know, I talked about that in one of the early episodes, and you know, a couple people have said, you know, oh, I didn't know you could do that, and I love hearing when you guys learn little tips like that from these videos. Like, it's just so awesome. Because that's, you know, just a big part of why I do these videos. That, and I'm a big nerd. Get out of the lava, Mirage. Come on. So I had to get fire resistance, you know. So here's the thing. So if you're wandering around here and you fall off in the lava, don't panic, as some people do. You just want to swim over here. I'll show you. Oh my god, I'm in the lava. And don't, whatever you do, don't jump through lava. Okay, swim through it. Only jump to heal yourself. Because when you jump through lava, you take damage every time you hit the surface. You're just doing more damage to yourself. I've got to call in the hounds here. Just swim through it, and like I said, only jump if you have to heal yourself. Same thing in, like, Abbot Water, for example. The raid app, both the heroic and the epic. Or Lord of Blades Water. 2 scrolls of Dimension Door. Those are gonna sell on the auction house. Now, what I want to do, I don't want those to get broken. So I'm gonna put these behind. Okay, the later in the bag that they are, the less of a chance that they're gonna break. Because when stuff gets broken, it draws like earlier in slots in the bag. So you want to put them, you know, stuff you don't want to break, like potions of demonic enhancement. You know, you put them later in the bag. I'll be able to sell those scrolls for probably like 100,000 plat each, or probably 100,000 for the stack. You can sell those for shards too, but I don't have any shards, so I can't post anything for shards if I don't have any shards. Kind of sucks, but maybe I'll get some shards on a roll. Not that I need shards over here on Caneth. Yep, I'm on Caneth. It is now November 29th, and this video probably won't even get posted until about Christmas. Do that creeping cold again. I don't know what's going on over there. I feel like I should have hit that caster for more. Yeah, you know what? It almost got him. You know, it didn't hit for any crits that first time. And that's going to make a difference. You know, it takes like 8 times or something, you know. And on average, probably one of those ticks is going to be a crit. Not a lot of the map left, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use a shrine now, and I'm gonna buff up my wolf. Totally. Oops. You can only do Ram's Might on yourself, not on others. Did I mention I got the Twisted Talisman last video? I think I did. Totally awesome. From Last Stand. First run I got it. I'm getting some good luck this life. You know, some of you might be thinking, you know, I'm not that lucky. Everybody's gonna get some luck now and then. But hopefully, you know, like I'm showing you, like if you're newer, like I'm showing you, like you can ransack those undead chests. And you know, I talked about, you know, one of the things that I wanted to talk about in this series is wealth building. If you're new, those Sands rare chests are a place that you can do that. If you're a new player, you know, million plat is giant. I mean, you pull a ring of spell storing. Yeah, you can just set your price for that. I mean, that's one of the rarest items in the game. That's unbound, anyways, and it's highly, highly valuable. Like I said, I traded 20 that for 20 dragon scales. I'm sure I could have gotten a lot more than that. I mean, if I was on Sarlona and somebody posted, "Hey, I'll give you this ring of spell storing for 20 dragon scales," I'd do that all day long. So, probably could have got a lot more, but, you know, it was worth it for me. Got dragon scales coming out my butt on Sarlona. Uh-oh. Okay, so I'm glad this happened. So I just cast By the Sun, and I'm like, oh shit, these fire golems are healed by fire. What do I do? It's gonna last another 50 seconds. You just drop out of elemental form, and there it goes. And go right back into it. Call lightning, creeping cold, SLAs take care of these golems, no problem. You know, I didn't talk about my quest progress. So let's look at that real quick. Where are we at? I just passed 1,000 favor. Sort this by level. Still elite streaking, hell yeah. What have I done? Did the spawn of Whisper Doom. Was hoping to get one of those Widow Weave cloaks. I couldn't find the goblet. I could only find one of the things. I thought all three of those battle standards and all that are supposed to be there every time. I could only find one of them. I went through the whole damn dungeon twice. You know, I had True Seeing on, so I found the secret passages. I don't know. Maybe they're not there every time. Did the Raid the Valkyrum. It's another walk-up out here, as is Purge Fallen Shrine. Both short quests, Dreams of Insanity. That was challenging for me. All those Thorak Hounds, lots of casters, beholders. In fact, one of the at the end, I got incapped by a beholder. But it was like I was done. Like it was completed, and I was literally looting the chest, you know. And then beholder pops out of the freaking portal right in front of me. So I wasn't really expecting. I think I hadn't healed myself because I was like, oh, the quest is over. He incapped me, but I didn't die. Desert Caravan. Chamber Cruise, Offering of Blood. Smoked that one. That's another good one. You can farm, you know, if you're trying to build wealth, you can pull spectral gloves from there. You get lots of chances to to pull that. And you know, you could sell spectral gloves for maybe 75,000 plat. It's a nice item. Not as nice as it used to be, but you know, one of the strategies I use for Desert Caravan, you know, that can be a tricky one if you're newer. You know, and you're a caster in there and you're soloing it, you can run out of mana. It's really easy. You know, one strategy is like put firewalls up at both ends, but that can get a little expensive for me as a first lifer being mana starved. So what I was doing is I was putting Sleet Storm up at both ends, and even though that's not a damaging spell, it will still grab the aggro of mobs. So as soon as they were walking into that Sleet Storm, then they would aggro to me instead of aggroing on the caravan. So here, like I said, you don't even... Oh, yeah, killing the boss, that's optional. All you gotta do is pick up these gems and it's over. Oh, I'm gonna kill the boss because I want his treasure chest. Should have done that first because now I'm not gonna get... Oh, the wolf's gonna die. Come on, let's intim everything off the wolf. Throw Greater Creeping Cold on him. And him. And him. Because I'm almost done here anyways. I don't care about my mana. My mana that is now all gone. Good enough. I just want to loot the chest and get the hell out of here. Boosh. Well, thanks for watching. If you have any questions about my videos, you can respond on the YouTube. If you have questions about my build, you can respond in the Druid forum on my build post, which will be linked in every one of these videos. And if you are on Sarlona, but not Cana, by the time this hits, the series might be done. I might be gone. If you're on, if you see me on Cana, you're welcome to send me a tell. But I'm not going to be on there for very long. But if you're on Sarlona, you're welcome to send me a tell.